Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know, this is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Every day, once a day, give yourself a present. Don't plan it, don't wait for it, just let it happen. It could be a new shirt at the men's store, a catnap in your office chair, or 2 cups of good, hot, black coffee. Like this. A present. Like Christmas. Oh, man, that is the spot. Nothing like a great cup of black coffee.
Raise up your cup of coffee. There, we got a color trap. So what this involves is selecting the lines and then picking the color that would go underneath that line. And then I have to manually fill that color in. Hey, what's up, Bo? What I tend to do is whenever there's like a hard cut, I just use the airbrush tool to kind of blend. It's not so picky. Oh, that looks a little weird. Hey, what's up, Psycho? Oh yeah, I worked on it. I can't get every Turtles character, but I got the ones that, yeah, I seem to enjoy when I was a kid. Once I figure out all the lighting scheme, I'll do a stroke around a lot of the objects that pop them out a little bit more. I guess Facebook only streams for like an hour. Interesting. Like it just shuts it off. Gotta pay for more. I don't give a shit. I don't pay to stream. My word. Yeah, well, I have to advertise. I don't advertise. You know, you never know where employers are looking. So it's like people go, DeviantArt died years ago. I stopped using it. I'm like, well, I've gotten a lot of work because of DeviantArt. DeviantArt did more for me career-wise than my stupid art school ever did. So I don't control where people look. I'm not paying for it, just sitting there, so may as well update it. I don't know, they must have some kind of stream limit. It's weird. It is weird.
That's what we're working on, like production, really. Help, you know what I'm saying? That's from the time our last album, that's what we've been doing on this time period, working on our beats, production, working on our.
Well, if Facebook cuts off an hour, I'll probably just turn off the streaming to Facebook option, and then just post my Twitch link on the front page, you know? Because there's just no point. No point to doing that. So, I've watched it 3 times now, and it just cuts off about an hour and 40 minutes, somewhere around there, for whatever reason. So, I'll do some cursory searches, see if that's a normal thing. And if that's so, then I'll just stop streaming to Facebook. Because I'm not gonna do both. I'm not gonna do like, here's a Facebook link, and then continue in the middle of my stream. I'm not doing that. It's like Chill Hop has this whole license. They're like, yeah, you know, if you stream from Chill Hop Records, here's our Bandcamp, all this stuff right here, then you'll be good to go on YouTube and shit. We'll put you on our fucking do not copyright list. Well, I got copyright fucking takedowns last night, you know? So it's like, I'm still playing the music, but we'll see how it goes, you know? Like, if I get a strike against my channel, then no more music. So I'm just not dealing with it, you know? Yeah, what bugs me is I actually bought fucking their discography off fucking Bandcamp. So if that's the case, then I'm gonna want a fucking refund. It was 150 fucking bucks, you know? It's like, the things I do for the bots, you know? It's Metalhead. He's the robot turtle. He should have the powers of all the turtles, really, but... Sorry, the skill sets of all the turtles, but... Mostly just fires machine guns. Missed the cable back there. I gotta go back and fix. It's gonna get a little tricky down there. The weeds down there with this. Let me go back on the Facebook and post the link. No. Darksider's commission was 5 pieces, bro. So, look, there's a reason why most people, when they do, you know, pinups, it's like one character, you know, and they don't go around recreating cover arts and posters, you know, and micro details, like, because it's ridiculously fucking time consuming, you know. You basically gotta be either an idiot or insanely committed. Yeah. I like to think I'm both. Yeah, there's just nothing fast about this, you know, like, the fast option is to just never do it. It's like thermonuclear war, it's just best not to play. You know? I'm not saying like this is, like I said, I'm doing maybe one of these a year now, like this. Darksiders one's a little bit different. I mean, it's just, I want a giant detailed armor. I mean, look, and let's be honest, most Darksiders art that isn't Joe Mad isn't really detailed. It's always like it's either a recreation of what Joe Mad did already, or it's just like, it's like a shorthand version, you know? Because it eats up a tremendous amount of time. Let alone to draw it, to ink it, and then to color it. You know, when you're doing all those jobs and you're adding your own spin onto the armor design, well, there you go. So what do I get out of it? Well, I get to show employers, here's what I do. You know, this is really the whole point of them, is to be like, well, here's what I can do. Here's how I think. You know. It's worked out for my career. So like, these things always benefit my career. They just don't benefit my use of time. Like, popularity on the internet kind of is based around doing a lot of stuff all the time. You know? So if you're doing a lot of stuff all the time, you're getting a lot of clicks, a lot of da 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 da. But, you know, a lot of clicks don't help my career. So you gotta pick and choose. Some people are super good at it, right? Like Ben Caldwell, Galloway, dude, they do tons of sketches, and I'm just not that guy. Like, I have to think every fucking thing out, you know? And even when I'm in my paid gigs, like, when I turn in stuff that's just kind of like slapped together, they're always like, work on it some more. So, one time I tried to rush through a bunch of shit. It was with some of the power prints, like the Zelda thing, you know, and I wish I had not done that. I had gone back, and I actually went back and fixed one element, the sword that was all bent and shit. So I'm not the speed guy, you know. Like any humans want. Like, no, it's not. It's because he drew them at 8.5 by 11 to get them done. So they're drawn at half size. And just pencils. Because of the time. Yeah. That's why it's also a lot of giant headshots too. You know? Big forearm shots. Because when you start drawing at different sizes, you draw different things. You arrive at shapes, you know? No, man, they're 8.5 by 11 sheets, dude. I got all the high-res art directly off the Marvel server. I was like, look at this. He drew them at half size. Clever. So, look, there's something to be said. It got done. You know? It got done. Well, maybe it was a little more... Look, man, they looked half size to me, bro. So, you know, they weren't full size. So, but that all being said, like, shit got done, right? So, I don't know. Everyone has their fucking thing. You know, like, what's going to get them through a project. I've just accepted that, you know, if I had just sat down in 2006 and drawn and colored Mosaic the way I wanted to, that book would have been done. You know, may have taken me 2-3 years, but it would have been done. Versus endlessly trying to figure out a quicker way to do things or to put together some team that's going to get it done faster, and then those people don't show up, you know, or they quit or they move on to other projects because they're getting paid more. Like, but if I'd gotten that done, then I would have that book done. Yeah, I've been drawing. Like when I do, I use like cheaper paper on. As long as it's archival, it's fine. Like I like the 70 pound because it has some texture to it. Like when I'm inking. So when I draw on regular paper, I use 70-pound cardstock from Staples. Good texture. But, you know, when we were at Play, he did the cover for Darksiders and that first big reveal art. You know, so I have the high-res versions of that. And look, there's a tremendous amount of detail that him and then Christian Lickner painted over at Liquid, you know? And, like, that level of detail is not possible in a comic, you know? So, like, the Darksiders comics, like Lula Lullaby does, dude, and they're fucking dope. But he does a really good job of shorthanding that information. I don't think I'm the guy to do that, you know? If I did, I'd have... That's why I was doing, like, the Youngblood sketches, like, a way I can do something that's looser. But again, you know, like, those things have to... There's compromises. But when you're doing things like this, where you're like, hey, here's these specific fucking things that we all remember. Loose and fast and half-assed ain't gonna... I mean, I'm not gonna say half-assed, but you know what I mean? Like, loose and fast and sketchy ain't gonna get you there. People are gonna be like... They're gonna want the real deal. They're gonna want it to look as cool as they remember it. You know? Which means you gotta put it in there, you gotta redraw it, you gotta put a little spin on there, put it all together. I mean, for comics, for me, like the thing that I always think works the best is just like what Capullo does. It's the old Marvel style where, you know, loose pencils, you get an inker to render it out. But we live in an age where that's just not feasible financially a lot of times, you know? So I can't do it. So these past 10 years I've just been like, you know, what is possible with one dude? Like, what could I do? What can I actually do? Yeah. And then, you know, sometimes it's just going to take a lot of fucking effort. It's going to take a lot of effort. my hope is that, you know, the fans that understand how hard this shit is, they can see the difference. The average person, no. But the fans, yeah. That's the hope. As long as the fans can tell, then they know. They know. You know, we all know when someone put in the effort. Yeah. So, you know, like, look, when I work on projects that have budgets and stuff, you know, and limitations, I get it. But with my own work, I'm just not rushing through stuff, you know? It's not doing it. I'm not doing it to myself. So, the only thing I have to do is build up the stamina to be like, well, I guess I'll have to see this all the way through. Like, I can let the real world compromise, but if it means I make less work, then hey, I make less work. There's really this pursuit of being able to produce more and more and more. I don't know, guys, you know. That's burnout, creativity, you know. So, and there's only so much they have a bandwidth to follow anyway. I mean, everyone has a life, dude. As much as someone could follow your work, they're only going to be able to catch so much. So it's like, the more work you do, they're not following all of it, you know? So... don't know. Sometimes, man, people just don't turn in work, and then things have to get done at the last second. So it's hard to say what happens, you know? It's not always just like, they went cheap. But there are realities to production, you know? There are only so many budgets and so much time. You know, sometimes you get direction that you don't agree with. I got direction that I didn't agree with on my first strike covers. You know, first couple covers were great, and then toward the end, it was like I had these compositions that were more simplified as it went along. Like, I did this big battle, and then it's kind of scaled down, and they're like, no, we gotta have all this stuff, and it's a giant fucking clusterfuck, you know? I didn't enjoy working on it, and I didn't enjoy coloring it, and it's why I didn't take the Transformer series afterward, because I didn't want to fucking do that. You know, I appreciated the work, you know, but, like, I can't. You know? And people are like, it's too much, Rob. I'm like, tell me about it. It wasn't my fucking goal to do that, you know? That wasn't what I intended to do. I got overruled, you know? And honestly, I should have quit. at that point, I shouldn't have finished it. You know, the hardest thing I've had to learn in my career is to walk away. When is a good time to be like, yeah, no. You know? Maybe that happened there. You don't know. You know? Maybe someone got the stomach flu. They couldn't finish it. Yeah, and they don't want to hear that because they're like, well, we promised 8 covers to Diamond. I'm like, that's your promise, not my promise, you know. Here's the cover I can do, and you know, it's the last time. Like, I was like, this is the last time I ever compromise with this sort of shit, you know. Like, the money wasn't that great, so it was like, I'm doing this for a reason, you know, exposure, whatever. But like, I mean, I was getting paid. It's not like I was getting paid in exposure, but it's like, I'm gonna fucking do the version that I wanted to do, or fucking fire me, you know? I'm asking you to. Because I don't want to do this, you know? And there's a difference between that and not getting your way. But I just completely disagreed with that. But, you know, I caved in. Right? Haven't worked with them since. So. That's the way it goes. And as such, they went out their way to not promote my work. That's how it works. Yeah. Right. It's like, look, if you feel that passionate about it, you do it. You know? Like, I get what you're trying to do, but at some point, I'm just an artist, man. Like, if you feel that passionate about it, go make it. But I can't make it. Right. So, here's what I can do. Otherwise, find someone else. Like, I could have just sat there and spent that time doing my own Transformers art that didn't have a bunch of other fucking weird characters in there, and I would have made more off-commission sales and everything else, you know? Like, so, and I'm like, guys, this is what you don't understand. Like, you're shooting your own selves in the foot, you know? Like, let us be creative, you know? Within reason, there are licensor fucking deals, I get it. But, like, me, like, ditching working with you guys to just go do whatever, I'm fine, you know? I'm fine with it, but it's not helping you guys. So you can sort of see, like, a lot of times the books get done in a very simplistic fashion so they can meet these fucking crazy deadlines and be done with less people. Sometimes it works, like, DC Josh is a guy I'm friendly with, acquaintances on the internet. He's a good colorist, and they created that whole he recreated that whole retro Marvel coloring style for the Transformers books, which I think that's very clever. It works really, really well. You know, it looked good too. You know, it wasn't just so. There are times it works, but then there are other times where I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get where why everything needs to look like super Mary Blair, super simple, painted, no lines. Oh, I know why, because it's getting done super fucking fast, you know? And I'm like, that's not... At some point, folks, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt more than help, you know? So... And having worked on a lot of licenses, I can tell you, man, you know, the name brand only goes so far. Once the name brand is being associated with cheap, fast, whatever, then it's not good. I'm fine with the looser pencils. Like I said, as Youngblood sketches is a good step forward in that direction. I'm going to have to continue to develop that sort of thing. As soon as I get done with this fucking nonsense. First time I ever really put my foot down was with Monstroids. They couldn't decide on a fucking page count for the scripts. I kept getting these 35 page, 42 page scripts. I'm like, but I'm only contracted for 22 pages of art. You know? And they took oh, well, you know, I mean, I'm like, look, I'm not doing fucking free pages. So they're like, you're right, we're going to go back, we're going to get it done. So they got a 22 page done, and then Kevin was like, that's not the script that I agreed to. And so they spent a fucking year arguing over the length of one fucking script. You know? And then when they finally got it done, I'm like, I've moved on. I'm doing other shit. Not interested. And they asked for help with the Richie Rich covers because Jack was unavailable. You know, I like Dave Hitchcock and Brent Irwin. They were good to me, dude. They were nice dudes. So Dave used to take me to fucking lunch a lot. He bought me a lot of burritos. So like, I did the Richie Rich thing, you know, as a favor. 1 and 2, my dad fucking loved Richie Rich when he was a kid. So one thing I've done, my dad was super fucking proud of, like art-wise. You know, and I remember some fucking some indie publisher, you know, like a Zenoscope, not him, but like one of those type of dudes, were just like, I think it was a Teenage Zombie cheerleader dude, whatever that guy is, and he was like, "What's up with Richie Rich?" You know, I'm a big fan of your art, but what's up with that? I'm like, my fucking dad, dude, you know, loves Richie Rich. I'm like, what do you care? Well, I'm fucking drawing. So I didn't draw his shit. He wanted me to work on the books. I'm like, yeah, don't fucking clown the work I'm doing, bro. You know? Let's see you go fucking draw some cool ass Richie Rich shit, dicks. Clown my. So what was? I gotta justify the fucking projects I take. You know, and then I get people go, you know, if you just draw stuff that was more popular, people might know who you were. I'm like, there you go. That's it. You know, I'm not drawing popular characters. Once I draw the popular characters, all the money and fame and fortune will come my way. that's the trick. Because no one else is doing that, right? Everyone else is doing that, or they're all like, come on, guys. If you believe that, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Plenty of people out there drawing Batman every fucking day. And Harley Quinns, and nudes, and no one gives a shit. You know? That's not it. Like, if there was a formula to this, everyone would be doing it. Some of those Richie Rich issues go for hundreds of dollars out there. They printed so few of them, and there's like a giant demand for like Richie Rich in like certain countries. Like I went to eBay and I was like, get the fuck out of here. I wish they had sent me some. They never sent me comp issues. Otherwise I fucking would have cashed in. But I did a tracer, right? I did a tracer. No one cared. She had big feet, Rob. If I just redrew the official art like everyone else does. There you go. Just redraw the official art. Just keep redrawing the official art and putting your name on it. But Rob, you put these video game covers in your piece and that's official art. I'm like, yeah, I redrew it because it's it's the fucking game. When I go do my pinups, I don't redraw the official art and slap my fucking name on it. How's that going to benefit me in a job when they want me to draw shit? And I need to see something they've already done. How does that benefit? Yeah, I know. This stuff in here gets a little too complex to bother with. Let's just use black. Working in a house style is not the same as just recreating the same shit they already got. Matter of fact, they get pissed at you when you do it. It's seen as swiping. Sometimes you don't have a choice, like some of those Street Fighter books, there's a lot of reused poses. One, because of time, and two, because just various approvals, you know? So, like, they'll reuse a lot of Street Fighter poses just to get the characters done. Especially when those poor guys gotta draw like a gazillion fucking Street Fighter characters on every fucking page. I feel for those dudes, man. Dudes write scripts and they're like, and you know, the entire Street Fighter roster is on every fucking panel. You're like, what the fuck? In that case, I get it, you know. But when you're doing a commission, dude, do your own version, you know. You know, do your own version. There's no excuse. No excuse. It's just laziness or lack of skill. Pick one. You know. That's how I feel. I don't respect it. You can come up with your own version. But it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Oh shit. Oh shit. I didn't know shit was gonna get hard. The fuck? Hard. But that's my influence. Nice cop out. Big difference. We can tell. We can tell the difference between influences and swiping. Clever. So clever. Swiper gonna swipe. Swipe and swiper. But I got some digital commissions coming up. Like, I got this Power Ranger and a Borderlands 3 character. And they're going to be done like the Youngblood stuff. So, that sketchy style. So, I'm going to try to keep that sort of thing in a regular rotation so I can just I gotta keep honing on it. Gotta keep working at it. So I can get that whole bit down. Not everything needs to be a giant fucking, 100-hour. Let's get in there. Sorry, I'm gonna clear my throat. There we go. Didn't mean to do that in the mic. I still need a Game Boy screen. I know I pulled one. Yes, I did. I pulled one.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know, this is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Every day, once a day, give yourself a present. Don't plan it, don't wait for it, just let it happen. It could be a new shirt at the men's store, a cat nap in your office chair, or 2 cups of good, hot, black coffee. Like this. A present. Like Christmas. Oh, man, that is the spot. Nothing like a great cup of black coffee.
I think that's it. We turn it off and back on. And back on. Thank you. Oh. Make some minor adjustments here.
I was told so many stories, and I kept them in my stomach. Lies, the truth, fake smiles, and blood money. I lost cause at a loss for words, trying to keep my tone down. What I'm saying's absurd, unusual, the context unique, buried in the depths of metaphorical speech. A hidden message. Pull the
I'll fix all these eyes.
reconnect the ends and pretend to justify the means. Parallel, we're reading the same page. Turn days into literature, simple as loose change. It was perfect, or at least that's what I'm told. Courage is dead, spending my life fearing the cold. I was useless, feeling like dead weight, plain as day. Introducing when handshakes. Originality was spread across the board. Intricate self-worth, I'm searching for more. I swear rain doesn't fall on my fields. It takes a drought to avoid all the secrets that I concealed. Hidden within the dust-covered land behind the city. The street lights are dim and the fog is always walking with me. It's nothing new, my eyes adjusted to the scene. Flickering on and off, it's just the daily routine. I grab a hold of time, forcing not to leave. The weeds grow sporadic and my home is where I'm quarantined. Thinking let's move the top to where the fuel rests. Giving all I got to breathe life to the common sense. Moving the top to where the fuel rests. Giving all I got to breathe life to your silhouette. Silhouette, 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 silhouette. Each one of us has our own destiny. A place where we come from and a place where we're going. Sometimes what we see or touch might be rough or rigid. Like a wax painting a sound, stressed to fill the holes in the life we've been living. And each one of us has a story. Different plots intertwined and connected. We pass in the street, but all we notice are the vibes are reflected. Question is, do we take or deflect? It seems heavy, but when I roll my hands were steady. The whites of his eyes seen from the paper till I was ready. Frustration became more common than being calm and outcast. Walked in the motion of every song till it fades. I washed away the shades of color, peeled back the winter, bringing light to my summer. I spent the longest time trying to decide on who to be.
Alright.
Destiny manifests, my mind's in the open sea. See, I feel better when I'm alone. Escape my own past, creation of time zones I flipped. See my eyes focus on every trip. Reaching for the sky becomes harder with every hit till it clears. The smoke settles on all my fears. Rain drops and covers the remains of every tear that I flip. See my eyes focus on every trip. Reaching for the sky becomes harder with every hit. Every hit, every hit, every hit, every hit, every hit.
Alrighty. Ah. So, what next? Now I have to figure out the background and lighting scheme. So, I will have to do that tomorrow. I do that over these colors, so I'm not, I don't know what the fuck happened here. Yeah, so I do that over the lines. It's just the easiest way to get all the colors done. So I have to get the lighting and all that shit figured out. I'll make a duplicate of this file, scale it down, and kind of work on that at a lower resolution. And then when I'm happy with that, I'll up-res it, drag it back in, and do a little paint over to clean it up so it's easier to do. And then get all the final lighting and shit figured out. I gotta do strokes over everything, and then probably strokes, then final lighting and rendering and all that stuff. So I have an idea what I'm gonna do though. Like I have an idea, so I pulled some reference. I'll show you. So I went and took some screen caps right from the cartoon, and so I'm thinking something like this sewage, you know, this one, maybe the green, that purple ooze, like something like this with that background color, kind of this orange to purple thing. If that's not working, then I'll go with this like blue, darker thing. I don't know why Batman's in there. Looks cool though, right? I'm not using that, but definitely thinking somewhere around like around that, and this for the color. I'm gonna try a green version, but I think the green might be too much. So green and purple, but orange and purple I think would work pretty well. So I just screen cap them on my phone so I have some reference. And that's where's my initial, where's my BG sketch? Did I delete it? Well, it's in my older file, so if it's not in there. Let me grab and drag it in here. There we go. Got it. So you can see it's going to go right back there. I'll have to re-sketch that out a bit, but I'll work out the lighting. So, and then look, if it's too much, then I'll just do a flat wall, and I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'll do no wall, but I don't know, we'll figure it out. It's going to be a little delicate to pull off, so we will get there. All right, folks, I'll be back on tomorrow.